Okay, so we're finally live and ready and everything's working. That was terrible. That took like 20 minutes to set everything up. The lighting didn't work, the headset didn't work, the external mic I had didn't work, and the webcam didn't work. So nothing worked. I was basically sitting here having lunch pretty much without food. So here we go. We're gonna jump right in. I'm in the actual J Wellness studio here. It's been a while since I've actually sat down and did a J Wellness studio uh, video conversation here, and I wanted to just connect a little bit better with you guys. I know a lot of the videos that I've been releasing lately have all just been audio based, so I think I'll do a survey again. I think I did a survey a while back. I asked all you wonderful subscribers which way do you prefer the content, and I think a lot of you said it didn't really matter, and it was kind of like, back and forth. So I'm going to do another survey to see what you guys think and just try to get a little feedback and connect with all of you and give you the best content that I can give you. So today's topic is, of course, about the many very mysterious conditions on our channel that we cover here. And I've been trying to be a little better at covering other topics as well. So I want to do a little bit of different health and wellness related topics. But this particular uh, segment is going to help a lot of you feel comforted. A lot of you guys are out there probably feeling a lot, and ladies are probably feeling like a little bit of what I felt going through these conditions is you just don't feel like no one's helping you. And when I mean by no one, I don't mean specifically family and friends, but maybe you're not getting the help you need in the medical world. The medical world has been challenging. I think the medical world is helpful when it's something that's highly uh, brought on in the world. Like it's a very known diagnosis. It's a very known condition. But when you're dealing with this particular conditions that we cover here in the J Wellness Studio, you won't find a dedicated channel covering these four conditions, mainly because to be able to provide content on an ongoing basis is very challenging. And if you're in it for the profit, this is probably not the channel that you would want to do. So I wanted to do a little bit of background. This particular video is going to be a little bit all over the place, and it's going to be like this on purpose. So I have dedicated my channel mostly to four conditions. These conditions are all very not talked about in the world, but it's tinnitus, TMJ, Eustachian Tube Dysfunction, and patulous Eustachian Tube Disorder, all of which are pretty interlocked in different ways. And I've covered all four of them many, many times, and I will continue to do so. I feel like there's a need for me here, and I wanted to provide this content for everybody because I feel like it's very helpful. Every hour I check different web pages, forums, and groups, and I see the discussion is ongoing. It's not lightening up at all. I have my own group, Eustachian Tube Dysfunction 24/7 help group, and it's not that I don't want people to engage, but it's a great way to see if things are toning down out there, and it doesn't seem like it. So I will continue to provide content because I feel like it's necessary. But what I'm going to do in terms of describing these conditions, which everyone's well informed about what they are and what they do, I'm going to start offering more in a supportive mannerism. I'm going to be more of a supporter of what you already know and what you're applying. So now I've given you the information. And I want to say, everybody, thank you for the support. One of the videos on the J Wellness Studio is taking off in terms of getting noticed, and I really am thankful because that's going to help people feel a little bit more relieved in the sense that they're not by themselves with this condition. But I wanted to do a video now where I'm supporting what you feel now in terms of the things that you're trying, the things that I've provided all of you to try, like red light therapy, uh, several massages that you can do, the masseter muscle here, the SCM muscles, uh, the tensor tympani muscle, several different muscles that I provided information and content for you all out there. Now it's definitely time to start providing the support because I think a lot of you are discovering what to do now, or you've retained enough information from me now that you can apply it, but you need the support to keep going. So I want to let you guys all know when you're going through a condition as this, it's going to be one of those lonely roads where you're going to be the only one in your entire family that's ever had it. And you're going to feel very by yourself a lot of the times in terms of understanding from others. And it's not like people don't understand that you don't feel well, but the way the world works, not everybody has that bedside manner. A lot of people need to have gone through something to fully give you those emotions of understanding and support. Not everybody, but not everybody's a nurse. Not everybody's uh, a healer of some sort, or chiropractor, or someone that does this stuff every day and understands the emotion. People don't realize when you're in the medical field, it's not just learning the craft of healing and learning the craft of taking care of people. It's actually uh, embedding the ability to sustain your emotions, to match their emotions, and be able to provide them things that they need. Like, for example, a lot of the a particular attribute that's not obtained by a lot of people is when a person is in some kind of pain or some form of pain or discomfort, like what we deal with here. um, you don't always want to try to find the exact, you don't want to educate them and hammer them down with a lot of things that you think will work. Sometimes you have to subtly just be there, and I know that sounds odd, but I realize in the healing world, uh, there's a there's that action plan, and then there's like, okay, I'm gonna just let this person kind of go through the motions, but be there. And a lot of times you find that people start to find healing on their own with your support in the background, and that's what I want to do. And that takes a little bit of training. Sometimes people always want to hammer something down. Oh, you need to take this, you need to do that, get up and do that, and try to run and go. Like, sometimes you just need to be there because the person's overwhelmed, they feel stressed, they have anxiety, they have depression, and they don't want a bunch of they don't want a laundry list of things that they have to go do and go buy and go run around and figure out. They just want you to be there so you can reassure them, and that's something that isn't well educated. Sometimes people have that book smart, they have the book smarts, but they don't have that bedside manner. And not every medical professional has that. They can know what types of drugs interact with what other types of drugs. They can know how to do that, how to check this and check the vitals for that, and understand that. But to have that bedside manner is something that I'm sure is taught, but it's not something that instills with everybody. So I will say, giving myself a little bit of a kudos. I feel like I have a really good bedside manner for many people out there, verbally and physically, and being able to provide support. And I think that's what a lot of people need in the health and wellness world, is that you just sometimes need that reassurance, because then I can then take what I feel instilled in me, and go challenge whatever obstacles that I'm facing without all the anxiety and the laundry list behind it. So I think that's very important that here at the Jaye Wellness Studio, and with me and myself, I'm going to always offer that support. And I try to, whenever I get messages and concerns and questions from you guys, which has been great, I try to get back to you in a quick manner and try to do it effectively, without the laundry list, without the, uh, oh, you got to do that, what are you doing, hammering on people. I just think sometimes you just need to subtly help them get through it. They know what they're doing wrong, they know what they need to do better. So a lot of you that are out there struggling are definitely in a state of confusion. And what makes it even harder is that who you tell this to, like with what you're going through, is in a state of confusion, because not everybody you talk to is going to say, hey, oh yeah, I had Eustachian Tube Dysfunction last week, it was awful. It's not going to happen. When I was going through this, it was dealing with this condition and suffering. A lot of people just thought it was an ear infection and said, go take an antibiotic, you'll be all right, and give it some time. Or they would think, oh, you're a hypochondriac, you just have a little bit of discomfort and you keep bringing it up all the time. No, it was like I was starving for that support. I was starving for someone to be like, yeah, I had that, and this is what I did. And so I am trying to be what I didn't have. Just like, if for you parents out there, for all of you who are parents out there, or you're a guardian of someone, you want to provide and give to that individuals, or a group of people, whatever it is that you were lacking in your own lifestyle, and you try to make whatever it is you're giving better or more efficient. And so that's what I did, and I think that's what I'm doing with this, with my channel, is that I'm trying to provide that that constant interaction, that constant feedback, that constant uh, need for the content to soak everything up. Because I was literally drowning in doubt. I was drowning in confusion. I was Googling like you wouldn't believe, of course, but I didn't have any one person that was really, there, someone that was kind of like my case manager, my advocate for something very specific like this is. And I think a lot of the times when you're going through this condition, you you actually need that. You need a specific designated individual that understands what you're going through to help pull you through it, and do it in a subtle way. And so I think that's why particularly I'm so attached to this condition and these conditions, is it's almost like I needed this myself. So the thing about it is, when you go and see uh, different specialists with this here, and I've talked about this and I've vented about this many times, but I kind of want to do a little recap. Uh, oh, and nobody, you know what? I don't even think I have it plugged in, and I don't. But you know what? It just looks nice in the background, so I'll leave it there. Um, the main thing about this here is I I really tried very hard to be persistent. When I had this problem, I didn't go right away to go see someone. I tried to, like doctors tell you, try to see how it goes and work yourself through it. As long as you're not in a life-threatening condition, work yourself through it. Well, the problem was when I would go see a professional, it was like they were treating me for something else, and it's not entirely their fault. When I first began my journey of trying to fight this condition, when I say this condition, I mean all four of them. When I was trying to fight these conditions, it was like I was trying to figure out what I can do to get better, but I didn't have the knowledge to adequately explain what I was going through, to be able to, for that physician or that specialist to kind of like narrow it down on their list. So I was going in with just like, yeah, my ears bother me. Okay, no problem. We will make sure to get you on an antibiotic very quick, take care of that problem real quick. And it was like, that wasn't really it. There was more to it than that. And as I dug a little bit deeper, I tried to dig a little bit more into this. I became more intelligent in this category. I became more proficient. I was like, okay, I'm almost advanced enough to teach people this because of what I went through. And so now a lot of you are struggling to figure out how to fix yourself, how to get back to normal, how to get over this thing. And it's like as much as I want to not see you in this problem, I do feel like it's important that we constantly address what's happening with you. We have to do this. And so, long story short, after I healed and finally started getting better, it wasn't right away. It wasn't like a miracle drug or something that woke me up one day and I started feeling like myself again. It actually took time. It took a lot of diligence and patience, and it started with less problems, less noise in the air. I think a lot of you have asked me before, what was the main symptom, your main problem? I always hear what was your main problem, pretty much. And honestly, it was the congestion, the clogged feeling, the swishing sounds, the clicking sounds. I say swishing and clicking because literally they're two, clicking in the jaw, swishing in the ear. I mean, it was a nightmare. And then on top of that, because of the equilibrium being off and the eustachian tubes not being aligned, they're out of whack pretty much. One's probably open, one's probably closed. Whatever the situation would be, it threw off my balance. So I had balance issues. I was literally, I would sometimes be walking and feel like I'm floating around somewhere, and it's weird. And so all of these things collectively made me just say, I told myself, when I do heal from this, I am going to, I am giving back. And I'm not going to just give back on one video. I'm going to completely take over this area. And that's what I'm going to do. Just take over this area and tell people this is exactly what it is. And this is what I've been through. And this is what you're probably going through. And so you constantly will see content coming out with this same topic, this same condition. And I'm going to continue doing so because there's still so much to talk about with this. After, I would say I have about 400 videos or more on my channel. I would say probably 200 plus, maybe 300 of them are about tinnitus, TMJ, Eustachian Tube Dysfunction, and patulous Eustachian Tube Disorder. And people are like, wow, that's a lot. Like, what else do you need to say after that? This is a lot. There's more to it than just, okay, drink this, take that, massage that. There's the emotional side too that has to be addressed. I can't tell you how many times I just was walking somewhere in a store and I was just like, what's happening to me right now? And I know a lot of you are feeling this way as well. You're going doing your normal habits and your body's responding as if it's never done it before. It's like you're gonna go jump out of an airplane and go parachuting or something, and you're like you're tripping out pretty much. And it's like that would be understandable. But to go in a grocery store and shop for the same things you always buy and stand in the same line that you always stand in, see the same folks working there you've seen before, why would this why would this ignite something that is completely oblivious to the body, the mind, and the soul? And I had to dig a little deeper. I said, what is going on here? And so forget about going in a new location. That just throws that just threw everything off. Going into a completely new location would completely set me over my comfort zone meter. It was already moving in a known location. So imagine going into an unknown location is just going to throw the whole gauge off, the meter all off. So there is so many pieces to this condition that a lot of people out there are not covering. They are simply, there's more to it than the mechanics. There's the spiritual side. There's the emotional side of this. I have a little tool that I use that a lot of creators on YouTube use. It's called vidIQ and TubeBuddy. Now, searching this condition pulls up like green when in terms of the amount of people searching this condition. It's way in the green, meaning that as a creator, there's opportunity to reach people like you all, but also means and tells me there's a lot of people suffering. And so you can use this, you can use this tool for two things: to see what is bothering people and how can you help. And that is why I'm here, because it just proves to you, it proves to me, it proves to everybody that there is so much to be done. Yes, we know stress is always going to be in the green in terms of like, when I mean green, highly searched. We know stress is always going to be there. We know anxiety is always going to be there. We know headaches is always going to be there. Cancer is always going to be there. Heart disease is definitely always going to be there. But this is new in a sense. It's, what I mean by new is like people don't have their finger on exactly yet, and so there's a need, there's a purpose here. And I feel like there's something that a lot of you are feeling the same. Many of you are feeling the same. So my story is very simple. Many of you have heard it already. I felt like I was where you are now with this, and I didn't really, people, when I would post in a lot of you are more informative when it comes to groups and Facebook and things like that. When I'm suffering with something, I don't know about how you guys all are, ladies are. When I'm suffering with something, the last thing I think about is, oh, I need to go on Facebook and find some help. That was just me. I didn't think to do that. I probably should have done that. I definitely should have done that. You guys were all more inclined to do those things, and that helped you find me. It helped you find other creators. It helps you find information. But when I was dealing with this, I got a lot of slack. I got a lot of problems posting in groups because people would say, "Well, why are you here? You are here because you're doing what? Are you promoting? Are you trying to make money off of us? What is your reason of why you're here, first of all?" And I would tell people, and then I would refrain to, I'd stop. I actually only post in my own groups now, but people would say stuff like, why are you here? What are you doing? Are you promoting? Is that snake oil? There's all kinds of things I've heard. That always cracks me up. And so I realized that there's a lot of people out there. I always use this phrase, the blind leading the blind, because it's like everybody's suffering, but who's going to help? Like, if everybody's suffering, how are you going to help the person that's suffering with you? I mean, you can offer your support, no doubt. But ultimately, what people want is healing. And so that's what makes this challenging, is because unless there's someone in here that can help, that has been through it, that's done Like, meaning my focus is off of me, it's going to be on you now. And so it's not to say that two suffering people can't help, but is it going to be the most efficient? And that's what's challenging about this condition, is like, is that going to be the most efficient way to help one another when one person's semi on themselves thinking about it, the other person's trying to think about what's wrong with them, and oh, I had this problem, did you have that? Man, I can't help you now, I'm busy trying to figure out what I'm dealing with. So that is why I came to be, because I am done. I am done with myself. I am done trying to figure out what's wrong with me now. I'm good. And so I figured it out. I have a lot of ways to try to heal myself from this now. And if I ever do take a step back and go back into it, I know I have this now to counter it a little better. And I think that's what a lot of you are worried about. Oh man, I went through this already. Now I'm going to go all the way back to the beginning. This isn't Monopoly where you land, you land on, or is that Monopoly or is that something else? Candyland? Man, I'm getting old. I don't remember the games now. There's a game, somebody put it in the comments and help me out here. There's a game where you get so far, you land on something, you go all the way to the end. So this isn't like that. You're building knowledge, tolerance, and resilience as you move on. You're building more equipment. You're adding more perseverance. You're adding more knowledge, education, understanding, patience, all of that, if I didn't already say that already. And you're going through it again now, but you're going through it now with these attributes. So I know I did a lot of talking, a lot of rambling. I don't even think I'm going to edit this one. I'm just going to throw it onto YouTube, unedited, yeah, all the stuff that I normally do the videos. I'm just going to take this and throw it right on there raw and let you guys and ladies, I always say you guys, please know that I respectfully am meaning both male, women, and everyone else. Okay, so I mean everybody that's going through this. You guys are all ladies. Everybody is important. So I will be your support with this, because I am no longer needing to support myself. And that's something that I think we all can agree is something very, very, uh, um, you know, breathtaking, in the sense that, great, now I can pour my issues on you and don't have to worry about overwhelming you, because your cup is empty in terms of trying to figure out what's wrong with you. You feel like I'm basically ready to help everybody. So alrighty folks, I did a lot of rambling for 20 plus minutes, and I hope you guys got a lot of out of this video. I hope this was very helpful. If it was, perfect. Like the video, subscribe, tell everybody about it. Say, hey, this is someone that's gone through it, so I'm not the only one, to your family, friends, neighbors, anyone that doesn't understand what you're going through, because you have support. Alrighty, folks, I am Jameson C. Montgomery. Take care. Talk to you soon.